New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Coming up, we will drink, we will toast with a shout of the day, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Yes, we do, as we'll start with the birthdays. Boo bitches, today is my beautiful little granddaughter, Layla May's 4th birthday. Can she get a Wendy fart blast? And you like that from Papa Doug, who sends lots of love. Thanks, guys. Love the show. And if you haven't downloaded the Odyssey app for the Happy Hour, you're missing out. So thanks for the plug-ola as well.
You like that? You like that?
Bacholos, today's my son Benjamin's 5th birthday. Being a new single dad sucks, but hanging out with him today makes it all worth it. So can we get you guys talking all over yourselves and throw in some thrill gets to make him laugh? Thanks, guys. Lots of love. That from Chris. Well, you know what
are we talking about?
Dad, more than I'm looking forward to. It's been a
Go on about anything, man.
Wild weather.
Dad, whatever they want to eat.
I don't know. 48 freaking years.
Dad.
Hang out with friends, my birthday.
Dad. Guys, I want to wish my wife the happiest of 42nd birthdays. She doesn't look a day over 30. And is a rock star because she puts up with all my antics of me and our 4 kids, plus a cat and a dog. I'll love her so much. So could you give her a shout out with Coach Ted hyping her up for 42 and some turtle wax if we could. Thanks, guys, and rock on. That from Danimal, the Sparky.
All right, 42. I feel like 42 is going to be a great year for you. Why? Well, simple. You're still in your early 40s. Now, you got plenty of time, so staring down that barrel of 50. But 42, you're still young and spry. Get out there and enjoy it.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails. Ola Men. This morning in Sequim, Washington, there was a report of a decapitated body in a ditch on White Feather Way. Police arrived to discover it was a decapitated lifelike sex doll. Police removed it, and I had to help load it into our city dumpster and also let our local garbage company know, so they did not mistake it as a body. Bizarre Monday morning. That from Gary, who's writing in from Sequim. What else do we have here? All the gentlemen and Miles. Especially great show on Friday. I'm the guy who turned you on to Colossus back when Robin was around. But then I also prompted you guys to try cottage cheese with potato chips on air. So I'm batting 500 with you. Want to see if I can improve that stat. Miles, you say you like peanut brittle. Have you tried Juanita's from Juanita's Candy Kitchen? I only know Juanita's from the chips, which I still contest are the best chips out there.
Oh, tortilla chips?
Corn chips.
From the store, for sure.
Let me know if that looks good. I'll ship you an order from the company. I can't do it now. They don't ship in the summer because the brittle can melt in the heat. But I'll leave myself a note to get some out to you guys in the fall. That from Thomas, the U.S. ambassador to Algonia. And I was going to write Thomas back and say, hey, don't you worry about it. It's not going to be warm here until, July. Mm-hmm. Then I thought, well, where they're shipping it from, it's going to be warm everywhere else. So
from Juanita?
Probably wouldn't melt. Yeah. I don't know where Juanita's is. I'm assuming it's someplace warm. That's all I know.
You couldn't be farther.
Juanita's is not from around here?
Like the chips or like the town?
No, the candy, the peanut butter brittle.
Oh, I assume it's just over in Juanita. It's next to Kirkland.
Oh, really?
It'll be here quick.
Huh. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I just thought that was.
I
I thought that was the brand name. I didn't realize that was.
Well, I think it's the brand name of those chips, but also Juanita is just across Lake Washington.
I think it's like Kirkland brand.
Is it the same person who does the chips? Same company?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm imagining that's probably just a candy shop in Juanita.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
It's called Juanita's Candy Kitchen, right?
It is.
There's one in Arkansas right now, so I'm trying to find some history here.
All right.
All right. Sorry, I thought it was just over in Juanita. We need to get over there. They got a high school and everything.
Must have Philly cheesesteak sandwich. As we were talking about Colossus. Gentlemen, I don't know if this fits the actual definition of Philly cheesesteak, but it is hands down the best sandwich I've ever had. If you ever try their food, I highly suggest you do, and get the pepper onion belly buster from Philly Your Belly, which is located up in Everett. No, I do not work for them. Rock on, guys. That from Phil. Check that menu out. They look like they do a very solid job if you're in the north side. And one more here. And this is a little bit sad. But this is from our buddy, One-Eyed Greg in Reisterstown, Maryland, and thank you for sending this. Got this news over the weekend, but Greg just sent us an update today. Thought you guys might like to know the traffic jam Jimmy. Is it too early for a fish sandwich?
Too early to get a fish sandwich?
Passed away Saturday night. He had a heart attack. He was 65 years old. And as they say, James Traffic Jam Jimmy Earn was a Baltimore television icon, and that is a fact. And Jimmy was also a friend of the show. He was a close friend of mine when we lived in Baltimore. Couple funny tidbits about Jimmy. The whole idea, but everything we've done from a fish sandwich, from the barbershop fish sandwich to every version, everything of fish sandwiches that we put on, our love for fish sandwiches, all that, it all comes from Traffic Jam Jimmy. We were sitting in the office one day. This is probably 2015. And a video he did went viral. Now, I knew Jimmy because Jimmy hired me to do a lot of the TV commercials that he produced in Baltimore. I did the voiceover. Jimmy would then give me the money in cash for the voiceover work I would do under the table. I would take that money, and that's how I bought my drugs.
I'm just saying, I know it's drug money.
So not only is Jimmy the voice of our, we had a fish sandwich T-shirt, all those things. Jimmy was also responsible to make sure that I stayed stoned for a number of years in Baltimore, because at that point in time, my wife at that time was not really down with marijuana. Her thing was more boyfriends and cocaine. So she was, but she didn't like pot. So if I smoked weed, she get all pissed off at me. But Jimmy kept me with the cash, so that way I could buy my weed, keep it on the down low. There weren't these huge withdrawals coming out of my checking account and everything else. And he was a really good friend of mine. So we see this video, and the nicest guy in the world. So we see this video that is starting to trend about Jimmy, who has now moved on from production. He still did production. But now he's also doing traffic in the mornings. They had lost a traffic reporter, and Jimmy said, I'll come in and fill in for this job and start doing this in the morning and give you traffic reports.
Right.
They were looking for someone else to come in, probably someone a little bit more attractive and whatever.
Yeah,
but Jimmy,
he's salt of the earth. That's the best way to put it.
Jimmy is Baltimore. Jimmy's got a thick accent. He has this beard. He all of a sudden started doing this, and people were incredibly compelled that this guy, they loved him. They just gravitated
because it was a normal person. And there's nothing against news anchors. You have to carry yourself a certain way, but it was nice to get a break from that super professional news anchor and just go to some dude. You're like, I probably sat next to him at the bar last night and closed it down.
Jimmy had a full beard. He broke all the rules of television, all the things where you're supposed to come in clean shaven and have a suit.
Right.
Jimmy would sit there in an Orioles shirt. He would dye his hair orange, his beard hair orange for the Orioles opening day.
Is that why it was orange in the video, right?
Yes. It is, yes.
Yeah.
And he was also doing, I'm trying to remember, it was
snowing.
It was snowing in the video, but he did like a number of different things for different charities. He would show up every Christmas at the local hospitals, visit the kids as Santa Claus there.
Yeah.
Jimmy was just that guy. And he passed away Saturday. So we got a chance to call him because we started playing the clip here in Seattle. And people loved it. We've been playing Fish Sandwich now for 7 years, but he's the inspiration for that. So we wanted to call him and tell him. And I think one other element that you need to know is that when we left Baltimore, we basically left over the Christmas break. It did not take long for us to be gone from that job and then hired in Seattle. So a lot of the people that we knew, me personally, I never got a chance to tell a lot of people goodbye.
Right, yeah. It was a real quick turnaround.
Some friends didn't know, but not everybody that I knew I got a chance to say goodbye to. So I don't even know if Jimmy knew I was gone at this point in time, but we'd been gone a while. But he knew I wasn't there eventually, but we just wanted to call him and tell him that, hey, we're playing this clip, and people love it. So if we could, this time, we'll skip your guess is as good as mine and go back in time to the last time that we got a chance to talk to Traffic Jam Jimmy.
Traffic Jam Jimmy, are you there?
What's happening, fellas?
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
It's been a long time.
Been a long time.
Traffic Jam Jimmy, I'm sorry I didn't tell you that I was leaving town back in the day when I used to do commercials for you. We just we got fired real fast, and then we had to leave town, and they kind of kicked us out of Baltimore.
You were gone. I said, Lord have mercy, what happened to them fellas?
Yeah, we moved out to Seattle, and I'm sorry to get back in touch with you, but we had a situation where many months ago we ran a clip of you going through the drive-thru there at the local McDonald's doing a traffic break. And at that point in time, I looked and I'm like, oh, God. I know that guy. That's Jimmy. And I didn't realize you were doing traffic at the time because when I knew you were like the head of production there, correct? At WBFF Fox 45. Right? Oh, man, are we losing you, Jimmy? Ah, no way. We lost Traffic Jam Jimmy.
Call him back.
All right,
do you want to get a fish sandwich?
Yeah, in the meantime, can we play the
We didn't
clip?
even get into it.
Let's get into the clip so people can hear it. And then we can buy it. If you haven't heard it before, this is it. So we were going to play this.
Oh, wow. Deteriorating conditions for sure. It's incredible to see what's happening out there. Let's start off with our Traffic Jam Jimmy. He's out in our Lynn Solar Mobile Track, and he's been everywhere from Pennsylvania now down through Towson. Hi, Jimmy. What's the latest?
Hello. Please go forward to the next speaker.
Hey, is it too early to get a fish sandwich? Oh, next speaker. Hang on. Oh, Candace, we live? Whoops. Hey, I've been in the car since 4 o'clock. I'm starving. I'm just getting something real quick. Hey, too early to get a fish sandwich?
Okay, well.
May I help you?
Yeah, can I get a fish sandwich?
We're on breakfast right now.
Breakfast? All right, give me a egg McMuffin and a black coffee. Thank you.
What size would you like?
Medium. All right, I'll tell you, folks, stay put. It's bad out here. I've been out since 4. Stay put, folks. Trust me. I didn't know we were coming live. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm hungry, so I'm going to get a little something to eat. They expect you to work for 8 hours in the car. You got to eat, Candace. All right, anyway, don't tell the boss I did this. How much are you, buddy?
$4.46.
Jimmy, do you realize how...
All right, I'll be back in a little while.
All right.
Jimmy, do you realize how big that clip got?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But, people from Baltimore, excuse my accent, but I don't speak real well. We're like between the north and between the south. So,
well, no, I think that's why
our
people...
accent's a little different.
I think that's why people were actually liked it. And the thing about being out here, well, we were all jealous because the McDonald's, they did not serve the Old Bay Filet-O-Fish sandwich. So we were a little bit ticked off about that. Jimmy, you said that people were contacting you from Australia. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, I was on the Today Show in Australia. I have to send you that clip. That girl, it was 3 of them, and the girl at the end, she goes, Traffic Jam, Jimmy, keeping it real. I mean, that was Australia Today Show. It was pretty cool.
What else?
I was going to use that.
You were on the Today Show.
Actually, let me tell you one funny story. I got a call from Ireland.
All right.
And the Ireland clip, they played it, and they went back to the anchor at the end, and they said, look, we know he's from the States, but what language does he speak?
Well, see, okay. Jimmy, when we saw the clip, I was like, all right, Jimmy must be wearing, you dyed your beard orange in the video.
And you were wearing that story. That day, actually, I do my beard, orange for the Orioles, purple for the Ravens. Anyway, you guys come out to the Seattle game. I'll take you to the Ravens game.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, we're down on that.
That's a deal.
That is a deal, Jimmy.
I'll get you a fish sandwich. But anyway, that day was MS Awareness Day. So you wore orange to support the 10,000 Marylanders with MS. And every break I was on, I disclaimed that except that one. So I had to do it over. I would say that because people thought I was a wacko with the orange beard.
Well, that's a good one. But they didn't know that you were throwing it to you. And like you told me, it's one of those deals where you were out all morning long, you were doing your job, and then there was a huge storm was coming in. So like they do oftentimes, they'll say like, hey, by the way, get back out there for 7 more hours because we're going to keep this ship rolling until noon. And they told you to basically go back out and drive into the snow in your rear-wheel drive car where you already were, where the hailstorm was coming down, so you could do more reports.
Yep, they said this. We're on the air 5 to 10 every day, and I get there at 5, and I go at 5:30 to 8. That's my normal shift. And they were calling for the snowstorm. They said, well, come in. We're going to go on the air at 4. So I came in at like 2:30. So I got up at 1 instead of 4. So I was thrown out of whack. And when I got to work, it was 38 degrees and raining. And the weather dude said, get in the car and head north. It's snowing in Pennsylvania line.
They sent you to Philadelphia?
Yeah, no, York.
All right.
York County, Pennsylvania line. So, you know, in Maryland, you go, they have the Hereford zone. It's like the Twilight Zone. It snows there when it's not snowing anywhere else. So I head north, and I'm in York, and I go across the border, you know, and I stop to see the fireman. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. I went up there. I was going to get a breakfast sandwich, you know, like an Egg McMuffin at 4 o'clock, but they weren't open. So I didn't eat it all. So that's where the food comes from. So I'm driving down, and I just went down and started heading south. And, you know, as you're going north, it's 38, and then you hit that Hereford zone, it's like 32, and it's icy. Then you get to the Pennsylvania line, and they had like 4 inches of snow already.
Why don't they give you why don't they give you a 4-wheel drive car, Jimmy, if you're out there driving in the snow?
Well, I'm getting one. That's going to be today. Actually, today is my 3rd year anniversary since I was on the air, and they told me this morning they got my new car ordered, so I'm getting 4-wheel drive.
By the way,
only news vehicle that doesn't have 4-wheel drive.
Okay, I got to say this, Jimmy, just because there are some people in the area who might not know this, but will connect with this. Back in the day, if you grew up in Baltimore, there was a show called Captain Chesapeake, and it was a kid show on WBFF Channel 45. Jimmy played Mondy. Similarly, that show was aired in Pittsburgh on WPTT Channel 22.
Captain Pitt. Yep.
Captain Pitt. So if you grew up in Pittsburgh, that's Jimmy too in the Sea Monster outfit. So if you watch Captain Pitt in Pittsburgh,
there's really no archive because it was live every day. We taped for Pittsburgh, but I guess they just throw in the dumpster. But locally, I'll tell you another funny story real quick. You know, I go to bad accidents every day. I see some somebody says I want your job. Well, when you go to a fatal, it's horrible.
I bet.
And I am. But anyway, I went to a fatal one day, and they shut the road down. The body was gone, and I'm sitting, believe it or not, in a McDonald's parking lot. It's like Baltimore Washington Parkway and 198, if anybody. And so anyway, they got the road shut down. I pull up off the grass, and I set my little camera up. I have 7 cameras on the car, but then I have a real one, like
handheld.
Sometimes you get the news, and I can zoom a mile in if there's a fire. So anyway, I got the camera set up, and I'm getting ready to go live, and all of a sudden, this Howard County cop car comes whipping around, the lights on. I figured, oh, man. I said, I might have a problem here, folks. Let me check. He pulls up to the window, and I said, do I have to move, sir? He goes, heck no. I just wanted to meet you. I watched Monday as I was a kid. I loved you.
You were the sea creature. He had to come. No way.
Meanwhile, I'm in a fatal. They got the road closed off and the little tape around, and I'm like, oh, man.
I saw Monday at a fatal.
Jimmy, you would not believe it. I swear to God. Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but we have a beer. It's called Men's Room Original Red, and we have a beer festival called Men's Room Red Fest. Don't ask. Either way, we have a bunch of people who come out and they drink beer in a parking lot, all right? We had fish sandwiches because the demand was so big because people played the clip. As a matter of fact, we have a band coming in on Monday that we're giving away tickets to, and we're also serving fish sandwiches in your honor. So it's
there you go. Well,
it's blown up.
I'm honored, I tell you.
Yeah,
that's the least we can do is make
Jimmy,
you fish.
I don't know if you saw this one. This is kind of strange too, man. But as big as that went viral, I had a weird incident happen to me, man. Where I was on the bus and there was a dog beside me, man, and the dog rode the bus to the bus stop, and that went everywhere. So I dealt with the same crazy crap like the Today Show in Australia called me.
Did they?
Oh yeah, I couldn't.
Did they have nothing else going on?
The thing is, I couldn't make the call because it was like in the middle of whenever it was. It was either like at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember when it was, but it was a crazy time. Either way, yeah, it was nuts. What do you cover now, Jimmy? Oh, did we lose you again?
Well, what am I covering?
Yeah, what are you doing now?
You can get ready to watch first night of football.
Oh, good for you.
Nice.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank God. All right.
And you know what? This is kind of sad because, people from Baltimore hate Pittsburgh.
Of course.
And we hate New England, too.
Of course.
So you got 2 teams.
I know.
You know, it's like you want to have lunch with your mother-in-law or the devil. You got to I don't know which one I want.
You're watching them both tonight, Jimmy.
Right.
We're in the same boat here. Seattle feels exactly the same way, Jimmy. You have no idea.
When you guys come to town in later on, right? Maybe something.
Yeah, I think we're
December, right?
In December, yeah. I'll tell you what, Jimmy. I'll give you a call, man. We'll hook up tickets.
Okay. Well, you know what, too? I got to tell you what. I got my best friend, Johnny Hearn. His 3 sisters live in Seattle, Katie, Franny, and Gracie.
All right.
They're probably listening right now. And Gracie, believe it or not, sang at my wedding. She's a beautiful singer, and she also painted my house. We got married 30 years ago, October 12th. She sang at my wedding, painted my house. How many people can say that?
Well, if you come out here, then we'll hook you up, man. So if you come out to visit, we'll take care of you. All right, Jimmy, I'll be in touch, man. Good talking to you.
All right, well, thanks for calling,
Yeah,
man.
brother.
Hang in
Yeah,
there.
man.
Love Seattle, and I love old James Marshall Hendricks. He's one of my favorites.
All right. Thank you.
Right on.
All right, Traffic
Good
Jam,
talking to
Jimmy.
you guys.
Yeah,
Call
man.
me anytime. We'll talk and get updated.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
man.
There you go.
Thank you, fellas. All right, bye now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, couple of minutes. We'll drink it. We'll toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. First, quick check out Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, there's a new list by Rocket Mortgage of the 10 cheapest states to buy houses. I have the number
Arkansas.
one. Arkansas, not a bad guess. Miles. Cheapest
Mississippi.
state.
Go poor state. So Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama.
Okay. Ted, any guesses as far as the
North
cheapest
Carolina.
state? North Carolina. Tennessee.
Really?
All right,
So
we
there
were
you
all
go.
around it.
Just dancing all around it, Derek.
I mean, not that Tennessee's awesome. But if I'm Tennessee, I'm looking at Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama like you honestly charge more than us. Oh, okay. All right.
A cat owner here in Washington was just awarded $125,000 from the courts because she had received more than $30,000 in fines and about 30 violations from her cat's misbehavior, like trespassing and taunting nearby pets.
How do you decide if a cat's taunting your pet?
Right.
I mean, if that's the case, my dog lost her S yesterday, right? And I realized because the cat, my neighbor's cat, I think it's his cat. I don't know. It's an outdoor cat. I recognize it. It's just sitting on the hood of his car.
Mm-hmm.
And the cat's staring at my dog. And I know the cat's doing it on purpose. And my dog's losing her, but the cat wasn't doing anything, right? I mean, literally. So, yeah, it makes your dog crazy, but like, yeah.
I mean, I didn't look into the story, but is this just an angry neighbor?
No.
It's got to be.
It is a neighbor for sure. It is the director of the people who do these fines. So she's already one of those people. So she can just go to work every day and write it up every time she sees it, and is just harassing the living hell. That's why that woman got paid.
Yeah.
Because her behavior was unacceptable.
Right. It's trash, man.
Yeah, totally.
The median age for women giving birth in the U.S. has gone up to its highest on record, the age of 30.
All right.
All right.
So there you go.
Seems reasonable.
People live longer.
Exactly.
Well, they wait longer to have kids.
Gentlemen, I'm a massive fan of...
Having kids is like last call at the bar. The
Yeah.
good times are ending. Time to go home and be responsible.
Damn it. They're the fun police.
Yeah, basically.
I will say I am a massive fan of movies. However, there is one thing that ruins a good movie, and that is the sequel.
A lot of times, yes.
But our friends over here at Newser have put together a list of the best movie sequels ever. So sometimes the sequel can actually be better than the original movie. So my question to you is, what do you believe is the best movie sequel?
The Godfather. Godfather 2.
Part 2. Not a bad call at all.
I mean, it's the only one that I've heard people say, like, you can argue that it's better than the original.
Right.
I have another one on that tip. It's just a movie franchise you hate, but The Empire Strikes Back.
That was going to be my
legitimate.
All right.
Star Wars is fun. Empire Strikes Back got a little deeper, for lack of a better term.
Right.
It was just a better movie.
See, and as I was going through them, like, I understand why and how people would choose Empire, but to me, Empire was not one of the better ones. Watching it here recently, it was better than I gave it credit for, because when you're a kid, you know, you just want to see the lightsaber duels.
That's it,
There
right?
wasn't a whole lot of that in Empire Strikes Back. There was a lot more of the deeper story, and yeah, it was very interesting.
Explain why you care about these people.
So here are your 10 best movie sequels ever. Number 10 being Babe, Pig in the City.
Once he went to the city,
That was a different ball game, man.
It
Before
was.
he was just a pig.
Right.
He's a pig in the city.
You know, first he was just a pig that was herding sheep, but
Yeah.
I never saw
It's a
when he
Stevie
went
Wonder song, isn't it?
Pig in the city.
Just enough pig in the city. I have not seen either of those, so I don't know.
I saw Babe when I was a kid, and I don't think we had Pig in the City, but I remember coming out when I was a kid.
Damn. That's how bad it was in Edom Claw. Can't even watch movies about the city?
No, man.
We wouldn't even show pig in
Screw that.
Dad wouldn't let us watch because the pig was in the city.
Leave the pig in the country where it belongs. On my plate. So, I mean, I never saw it, but it was a gimmicky movie when I was a kid.
It's a talking pig.
Right.
I mean,
I can't imagine that getting better. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
other than just on its surface.
Ooh,
getting
this is
better.
a marked improvement.
Ah, God. Number 9.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a talking pig. They're already taking some liberties.
And then she had a child and named her Peppa.
I hate that movie.
Number 9, 3 Colors Red, which I believe is one color. Like, I don't quite understand how that goes there.
I don't even know if I know that movie is.
Neither do I. It came out in 1994, and
I have never heard of that.
Who, I'm going to screw up this name, Krzysztof Kieslowski.
Okay.
So it's, stands for...
I guess I'll see his first movie and then see if the second.
There you go. Three Colors, the original. That one's probably blue, if I'm not mistaken.
By the way, a lot of people are chiming in with Terminator 2 and The Dark Knight.
Oh, The Dark Knight was great.
Yeah.
I loved The Dark Knight, 100%.
That's a good call. Terminator 2 is solid, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well.
I don't think I've seen a Terminator movie.
I'm not positive to this day that I've seen the original Terminator.
Really? I mean, it's worth a watch.
I was like that age when T2 came out. It was such a massive deal.
Mm-hmm. What? Scorpions?
Read the text. Yeah, that's exactly what
Pig City Nights. I was like, the Scorpions saying Pig City Nights.
Pig City! Pig City Nights!
Yes.
That's so stupid. I love it. Number 8 of the best movie sequels ever, 35 Up. From Michael Apted in 1992.
Again, and I don't even know, was 34 Up?
I mean, Up was a fine enough movie. Like, I don't know why we need 35 more, but, you get right after it. Number 7 being Blade 2 from Guillermo del Toro in 2002.
I agree with that.
I didn't see any of the Blade movies, but I do know that they are very well-loved movies.
They're fun. I mean,
He's a vampire hunter.
He's a vampire hunter. He's a vampire. It's Wesley Snipes. He's a badass. There's lots of blood. There's gore. There's great one-liners, but they're actually pretty decent movies.
Nice. I dig it. Best movie sequels ever, number 6, Bride of Frankenstein by James Whale in 1935.
All right.
It's another one where I haven't seen the original.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard, historically I have heard about that movie, but I haven't watched it.
Right. But I do feel like I hear more and more people talk about The Bride of Frankenstein versus just the original story.
I'll tell you what you do this Halloween, right? Because Bride of Frankenstein is always a go-to Halloween outfit.
Oh, yeah, for couples, you bet.
Can easily distinguish who it is. My question is, how many of the people that dress up as the Bride of Frankenstein have seen The Bride of Frankenstein?
Right.
I've never seen, I mean, you know everything about it. I have never seen the movie.
To be fair, Frankenstein is a noted contributor in Halloween, and everybody will put Frankenstein stuff everywhere. At least the Frankenstein monster, we get it. But how many of those people have actually seen anything Frankenstein, for that matter?
Yeah, fair enough.
He was in that Van Helsing movie, and that was kind of fun. But
even Frankenstein's like, don't bring that movie.
Man, that's another one. I was a kid when I saw it, and it was one of the coolest freaking things. There's doggone werewolves and vampires and doggone Frankenstein everywhere. It was cool when I was a kid. Had Kate Beckinsale.
I mean, that helps.
Yeah, it was great. Big fan. Number 5, Aliens from James Cameron in 1986.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't there okay, so it was Aliens, and then Alien 3. There was never an Alien 2?
No, it was Alien was the first one, which was a great movie. Aliens, the sequel, a fantastic movie, just a lot different. The first one was not action. It was people are getting killed, and there's nothing you can do about
horror,
it.
Yeah.
Second one, right, there's lots of gunfire and all that. It was a great movie.
And then it kind of turns into the mission.
Then it turns stupid when they make the movies after that.
I liked Alien versus Predator.
Of course you did.
That was a fun one. That was good. Except for the ending. The ending was cheesy and stupid. Let's see. These are the best movie sequels ever. Number 4, Creed.
Yeah,
it's 2015.
It is. That's a really good movie.
Not really. Is it the sequel? I guess
is,
to
because,
the second part of the franchise.
Yeah, so you're passing the baton, but Sylvester Stallone is featured prominently in that movie,
right,
as the character Rocky.
Yes.
And they did a real good job.
Yeah, it's not Creed 2, it's Creed, which is the sequel in the
Creed 2, also a good movie.
And I did see that one, and I was never big on the entire Rocky franchise. I had seen Rocky, and it was what it was. But Creed, that was a really great way to modernize what that movie was.
That's what it needed.
Well, and Miles always makes a very good point that, like, if I go back and watch Rocky, like, it's slow.
That's the boring one.
God, it drags. Yes, it does.
Well, there's only the last 5 to 10 minutes of the movie.
That's the fight.
That's it.
Yes.
Right. Everything. It's a love story about a boxer who you watch fight.
You want this guy to win.
Right.
But the second movie's like right away, boom, they're coming out. The fight's just over.
But you wish that the build-up to the fight would be a more interesting story, and it just wasn't.
No, it's really not.
It just straight up wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. It's a love story, and then a story with him and Paulie. Or not Paulie,
Apollo.
Adrian.
His traitor.
Mickey.
Mick.
Well, we can name every other character.
Number 3, Through the Olive Trees, which I don't even know what that's a doggone sequel to.
Could not tell you.
Maybe Through the Pine Forest. I don't know. That's from Abbas I'm going to screw that last name. 1994. So there you go. Best movie sequels ever. Number 2. That is where yours lands there, Ted, at Godfather 2 from Francis Ford Coppola in 1974.
That's 2. I'm like, what could be 1?
What could possibly be number 1? I liked Godfather 2. I like the first one better, I think. I need to rewatch it.
Did you?
I need to rewatch it to know.
Is it Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo? That one just came in.
Well, the
It is
Godfather
not.
2 also just does such a good job of explaining how he got there.
Right.
And actually, there's more action in Godfather 2.
And you know what? That's right. When they kind of keep doing the flashback and forward and all that, and it does make it a little bit more fun. Bringing De Niro in there and all that.
Yeah, there's action.
Right. The number 1 best movie sequel ever. Believe it or not, comes from 2015 at George Miller's Mad Max Fury Road.
No argument for me, man.
All right.
One of my
you
favorite
told me to watch
movies.
that.
It's a great movie, but Mike and I talked about this earlier. The one difference between it and the other sequels, it does not matter if you've seen any of their other Mad Max movies. You can watch this one, and it's fine.
Right.
They don't flash back. They don't tell some sappy story.
Yep.
All you need to know is that life sucks, and he doesn't want to die.
Right. Apocalyptic world where bad things are happening. There's these
Constantly.
odd cars, and for whatever reason, in Apocalyptica, it is nothing but a desert. So, there you go.
Yes.
A man in Pennsylvania was arrested for driving himself to his DUI arraignment, and you will never guess why.
Oh, I probably have a pretty good idea.
Tell you all about it in 1 hour from now.
Think of my clock. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK.